It's asking me for a password to join.
The password is all lowercase, all one word, emotional damage.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Adventures in Amnesia. Well, more 2.5 really.
2.5?
Yeah, so today our wonderful co-DM Caleb is out of town like a loser. So we are not doing a proper full session. Instead, we have decided to have sort of a like out of continuity downtime talk session. So in the time that you guys would have been walking to the fort, we are going to have some conversation. So you guys will be free to share information that you have that the others don't, to try to theorize on what's going on, stuff like that. Couple of ground rules. So this is out of continuity, which normally would mean that you would not have access to the information from the end of last episode. That, however, would be very difficult to enforce, and also there was some very important information dropped there that I think would be worth including in this conversation. So we're just breaking continuity. It's great. Second, that does not include anything about what happened to Vidar at the end. That will happen next time on episode 3 proper.
Okay.
Yeah, any
Sorry,
questions
John.
with any of that? Yeah, sorry, John. You have to wait.
It's all good. It's all good.
Alright. So we can act like we know what happened up to the point of Vidar's incident, essentially?
Yes. Yeah, so you know everything that happened in the ritual cave, all the like the message and the recording from the soldier and all that stuff.
Okay.
Just not Vidar's thing at the end.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, let's kick it off. You guys are walking through probably right now some plains, and on your way to the fort. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say? Solid.
So, hang on a minute. What year did you say it was?
1046.
On the other side of the blue cloud, it's 12,307.
12,307.
Which is much more than 1046.
It's quite a bit higher than 1046.
This is where my tinfoil hat gets put on.
None of
hat?
the terrestrials know what that is. Yeah.
What's tinfoil?
It's a very thin sheet of metal that people like to form into a hat. I mean, it's used for other things too, but in this context, it's formed into a hat to block our heads from radio waves so that the aliens can't hijack our brains.
I guess we've already discussed what radio waves are, if we're remembering things in the cave. So
That you have.
those are things that are sending messages to us, right?
Yes. With no wires. I mean vines.
Excuse me? Okay.
So, something I happen to know about my particular corner of the galaxy is that we came to the Omnesian system in 11,261.
Whoa.
When you subtract 1046 from 12,307, you get 11,261.
What is subtraction?
Okay, you know what math is.
Like math is a thing.
Maybe Northbeard doesn't, okay? Did he go to school? Do you guys know if he went to school?
Did you go to
I
the
do know.
Borealis Academy?
What did you just say?
Did you go to the Borealis Academy?
I would never go to that stupid school.
Huh.
Well, it's interesting that you know what the Borealis Academy is, though.
I do a lot of reading.
You would fit in perfect in that stuffy place. Anyways, going back to the equation. Say the numbers again.
So in our time it's 12,307. In your time it's 1046. 12,307 minus 1046 is 11,261. 11,261 is the year that the Alsham Union came to the Omnesian system.
Came from where?
There are more places outside the blue cloud that are much further away than what's just on the other side of the blue cloud from here.
Do you know these stars we talk about?
No, we don't know the stars that you're talking
No,
about.
what I have referred to as stars
Oh,
many times.
Yes.
You know the sun that you have?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a sun here?
There is
there's
a
a
sun.
sun. There's a sun. Yeah.
Your sun.
A note though, it is a bit like blurrier and
Dim and
larger,
blue.
more diffuse
blue.
than what you would probably be used to.
Okay.
It's like a blue
it daytime
raspberry
right
snow.
Say much blurrier and diffused than what Ignatius is used to. Much more.
Oh yes, much.
Yeah.
Or I'm assuming we're walking in the daytime.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Though in fairness, Ignatius, if you can see the sun, something has gone horribly wrong.
Something is horribly wrong.
I do have minor hologram. Can I just sort of like paste the
There you
map
go.
in chat of the
Sure.
Omnesian?
Yeah.
Just so
That's cool.
That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
That's cool.
Nice.
Let's go, Pydar.
That's cool.
We're sharing
I mean,
maps.
since-
We're sharing maps.
I put it in the lobby. I don't know if there's a better chat for it, but
No, that'll do.
Hey, you guys shared your map to us. Now we can share our map to you.
What is
since
this?
We're... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. What is this?
So
what am I looking at right now?
You see,
Great,
you
Laura.
see the big blue cloud that says Omnesian Zone.
Yes.
We are somewhere in there right now. For all any of us or anyone else in the entire Omnesian system knows, this planet is not here. It was just a blue cloud of Omnite. So we don't know exactly where in that cloud we are, but we're in that cloud right now. on Amnesia.
To give a bit more context, the reason why we don't think anything's in there is when we enter that cloud, basically all electricity stops working.
Electricity. Okay.
That's
what
our
is
form of
electricity?
power. So you guys get power from your Omnite crystals. We get it from another less magical way.
See.
Are your people scared to travel inside the Amnesian zone?
Our people don't travel inside the Amnesian zone.
Anyone who goes in there doesn't return.
Doesn't come out.
Do you
So
guys
the people that
guard the Amnesian zone?
The people that came
no.
here.
So you're not afraid of anything coming out of the zone, like we are of our maw.
No.
We don't really like to
As
travel
far as we
into our-
know, well, I guess I'll speak for myself. As far as I know, nothing has come out of this.
Because
I don't
I
know
like
as well.
show them a picture of Amnesia, and I just circle the giant gaping maw hole, and say like no one goes far into the maw here. We really don't know what's down there besides the creepy spookies that they've told us all as
The
children.
Amnesia map is in player lobby, FYI.
I suppose you could draw a parallel there, but to our knowledge, nothing comes out of the big dark hole that is the Amnesian zone. Things just kind of go in and then are never seen again.
Ember, you had a question also?
Yes. So the people that traveled to the Amnesian zone 1,000 years ago, did they return back to your system?
I don't know of
So-
anyone who traveled there 1,000 years ago.
Well, it's 1046.
So, yes, so in 11261, that is when the Alsham Union, which is the faction that I belong to, came to the Amnesian system. The Amnesian zone is within the greater Amnesian system. And we came to the Amnesian system specifically because of the Amnesian zone and the very valuable resource that is Omnite. So we have figured out a way to essentially make power also from Omnite, but in much more exact and scientific kind of manner, and also with a much smaller quantity of Omnite than what you guys have here. So my faction came to the Amnesian system in what effectively equates to the year 0 for you guys, assuming time moves the same, which I think the fact that these dates line up is kind of a big coincidence if time doesn't move the same.
Are we
so
talking year 0
that-
pre-salvation or AD?
So,
Because I have two zeros here. Are we talking pre-salvation?
What year is it now? Is it 1046 AD?
It's 1046 AD.
So probably 0 AD. I have no idea what this other number is.
I just love that Grant was been doing all of this math by himself and didn't even know the possibility of
I was
history
just waiting. I
prior
was just
to this
waiting
year
to
0.
drop that number on your. I was just waiting to drop 1558 on you real quick.
Okay,
Well,
so
I mean,
there is time before 0 AD for you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
In the year
So
1558,
that I can just
the creation
throw
of
out
amnesia
half a dozen theories.
happened.
Ember, when did Dicats leave?
So Dycax arrived in year 0. If I'm
arrived.
getting all of my history correct.
0 AD or 0 whatever this
0
other
AD.
moniker.
0 AD. Because
Okay.
AD for us is after Dycax. AD. After Dycax.
Ah,
So
Sure it is.
hang on, hold on.
of
After
course.
you're getting a little confused here. 0 AD is after Eternus's death, actually, not after Dycax.
For us, it's after Dycax.
No,
And
Dycax
Alora,
doesn't matter.
what is it for you?
Age of Division is for
Oh,
us.
of course,
so.
of course.
Oh my word.
Yes. Y'all are
Christ.
Hey, your fear.
Yeah, knock
You know
up.
that drink we had back in the tent? You got any more of that?
I handed over to him.
But it's all the same year for you guys. So year 0 was the same point in time.
Well, hang on. What year was Amnesia created for you, Ember?
What year was Amnesia created? Please
Yeah.
hold.
What year did your people tell you it was created?
So, 983 pre-sundering is when it was created.
No,
Pre-Sundering.
1558 pre-salvation. Again.
Pre-salvation?
No, I think it's
No.
1125 pre-separation. So
Pre-separation. P.S., huh?
So you gotta understand something.
Oh.
Your gods have been telling you guys the wrong information for a little too long. That's why we killed ours. You gotta take the reins of your lives into your own hands.
I'm with your fear on this.
Is
This
that
whole
your
God
salvation?
business Sounds
Yourself?
messy.
The pre-salvation, well, we relied on Eternus.
Mm.
And you know where that got
After-
us? We killed the bastard.
And then that is your salvation.
You better believe it.
Mm.
We are a lot better off without him. We have a growing, thriving economy that I can tell you, both of these two people, their countries wish they could be like us.
A growing, thriving economy who doesn't realize where you are in history. That's fine.
The Alkuli
I think
Empire
you don't
is
know
sort
where
of
you are. If you
famously
knew where
the
you were,
largest
you'd be able to
economy
fly off this planet.
on a basis.
right.
Wait, that's interesting. That the Alkuli Empire is famously the biggest economy on Amnesia.
Ow.
The Alsham Union is also effectively the biggest economy within the Amnesian system. And they have very similar names.
You can't zoom in and enhance. What's this planet with an A? Ethereum? Is that how you say it? Ethereum? What is that one? I can't see all the letters on your holocron there.
So let me do it higher res and
Ethereum?
yeah, Ethereum.
Is it Ethereum?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Ethereum. What is that thing?
By the way, Trevor, you can hit open in browser and it'll bring up a high-res version of it.
Oh, thank you. Orpheus never used a computer before.
Ethereum is a gas giant, which is going to mean nothing to you.
Nope.
But it's a very large planet, like Amnesia, but if Amnesia was basically just a big collection of gas instead of the giant rock of Omnite it is.
It's partly where I call home.
Oh.
Ah, so you're a gas giant.
I am from Fort Black.
And that's on
All coming
Ethereum?
together.
It's on
Yes.
Ethereum.
Okay.
You said partly. Are you from another one of these planets or stars?
Fort Black for me is all there is.
And what is Fort Black?
It's ominous.
Fort Black is beauty to me. It is a place that we have constructed from different asteroids and different space rocks. I don't know what you will understand if you don't even know what a star is.
I know what a rock is.
All right, it's a big bunch of rocks that we have formed into a pirate outpost.
Pirate.
That we can
Interesting.
call home, hide from those after us, bring
Ooh,
our fortunes.
Are there more like you there?
Pirates, absolutely. The one I lost was one like me.
Iggy under his breath is saying, I knew they were pirates.
How did you become a pirate? Knock. I've met a few in my days.
I don't know how much of the story I want to get into.
Well, now that you brought it up, probably all of it.
My father was a pirate, and my mother as well.
Interesting.
So you could say it's in my blood.
What do you, you collect space rocks? Is that of high value for you people?
Omnite is of much value to us,
Oh,
if you want to
those
call
are
that a
the-
space rock.
You said you were collecting space rocks for Fort Black. I just wasn't sure.
Oh, no. Fort Black is made of space rocks, of asteroids and
Gotcha.
meteors. And
But not the blue glowy kind.
but not the blue glowy kind.
Not the blue
Yes.
glowy kind.
They're gray, very not glowy.
Minor point of clarification, it is largely made out of asteroids and whatever. It is also comprised of ships that have essentially been converted into like connections between the asteroids.
I might suggest, as a voice not in the story, that talking a little bit about some of the places y'all are from might lead to some fruitful conversation.
Alora. What was the name of the cultist that you spoke of in the cave?
Like the leader?
Yeah, the leader.
The
Moon Lady.
The current leader is the Lyra Night Whisper.
Elira?
The Lyra, yes.
There's a TH at the start of that.
Ah, the Lyra. Okay, gotcha. Okay, interesting.
Also, that is technically not the person you were asking about.
Oh,
Were
are you
were
talking about the lady on
about-
the
Yeah.
hologram? Is that or the image in the sky? Is that what you're talking about? The illusion? Or are you talking about the actual leader of the cult?
Both.
Okay, the leader's the Lyra. The lady that we saw in the picture is our Empress, Empress Celine Alculi.
Ah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Who is the Moon Archon.
The Moon Icon. That's right. Interesting. So Naka, that's just that's where you grew up. Your parents raised you there on Fort Black. Just
That's correct.
That's all you've known.
Yeah. That's what I've known. Yeah.
Sorry, one more time. What was the name? Lyra?
Thalira, Thalira. Night Whisper is her last name.
Vidar, where are you from?
Xeon DV5.
Excuse me.
What kind of name is that?
It's home.
What is
that space
what
rocks, like?
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful planet with, I don't know, looking at the map here, it's more green, but then there's these giant domes of civilization.
What kind of domes?
They're called biodomes. I shift the hologram to 1 second.
There you go. It's very handy having someone who can show holograms like that.
And there's a ton of these throughout the planet, and there's tunnels leading between the different biodomes, and each biodome has a purpose. Like, one of them holds Clypis, one holds each of the arbiters.
What are those?
Clypis. How does it hold a god?
Like before, Clypis is a computer.
What's a computer?
My data pad, I show her that. Think of this, but way bigger and way more powerful. It's responsible for all the decisions that's made on the planet.
So as we're walking, would we see Decaxian architecture? Because like that looks a lot like,
Yeah.
that dome looks like what Decaxia looks like. That's like what our houses are made out of.
Yeah, you may not see it right now, but you certainly passed Decaxian architecture.
Yeah, effectively every single building in Decaxian architecture has a domed roof.
Vidar, you said Dycax was dead. Did you know Dycax?
No, he died like 4,500 years ago. Technically my people killed him, but that was long before I got there.
Did he live on your planet, the Xeon whatever?
I assume so. I don't. That's not in the notes.
No.
No, he didn't. But he was the inventor of Aquitus.
Aquitus.
Aquitus. But Aquitus existed before Dycax.
Not where I come from.
Is Aquitus also a computer where you come from?
Yep. He was the first supercomputer or arbiter.
What do these computers do? Obviously, the thing you just showed us, you just like you push things. How do these computers help you? You call them arbiters.
Computers.
What are they?
Computers and arbiters are different things. Arbiters are essentially AI people.
What's an AI?
This is so difficult. They're responsible for all the decisions made across the planet. For example, Clypis is the firewall.
What's a firewall?
They're the one in charge of the military defense for the planet.
Okay.
Protecting the
general.
planet.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
essentially. Argentum is the broker in charge of all the trade for the planet. Doctrina is the analyst, just further developing knowledge of science and computers. And then Aquitus, is the sage, the first one that Dycats made. And
Aquitus is the sage? You know what sages
that's
are?
its nickname. I mean, its nickname is the sage.
So are they like the sages that we have in Decaxia?
You have plural sages?
We have hundreds of sages. They're quite revered by our people.
Are they just partitions?
What's a partition?
Oh my! I hate Caleb and Steven.
Listen, this is why we killed our god. Okay, we don't have to worry about any of this stuff.
Our
If
sages.
there's ever like a drawings of each one of these individual characters, whatever your fear is doing, the quote needs to be, "See, this is why we killed our god."
This is why we
That's
killed
his only. It's his
It makes
catchphrase.
things a lot easier. Okay.
So you said Argentum is a broker. Doctrina is an analyst. Aquitus is what now?
The sage.
The sage. Okay. And then Clypus
Clypus.
is
The firewall.
a wall of fire.
No,
Wall
it's
of
the
fire.
general. It's their general, their army guy.
Ember, why don't you talk a little bit about your understanding of those names?
Yes. So those are the 4 gods of Decaxia. Please hold while I explain. So they're animal-based gods, and each represent a different aspect of humanoids. So there's strength, dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom. So Clypus is the owl bear, and it is a god that embodies strength and protection. And Argentum is the spider, and she is a god of cunning and dexterity. And Doctrina is a crow. She is the god of knowledge and intellect. And Aquitus is a tortoise. He is the god of balance and of wisdom.
I mean, the descriptions seem to match, but they're definitely computers. We like I've I mean, some could call them gods because they're powerful and decide everything on the planet, but
Ember, where are your sages now?
They're all throughout Decaxia.
Why did I know you were going to say that? It's
Um,
just-
Alora and Lucky briefly met one. He was a fisherman.
Oh, the fisherman. So would he be considered a father then because he's a sage, or is that something different?
Different.
Different.
so you have 4 sages?
We have, I'm assuming, hundreds of sages.
4 gods
4 gods.
who are sages.
No.
Okay.
Our sages are able to embody the gods. So they study a specific god and then are able to embody those characteristics.
So, like, anyone could be a sage if they just study hard enough? Is that what you're saying?
No. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but a sage has to be chosen, or... Yes,
does it have
is
to
that
be
right,
chosen?
DMs?
How do they get to be chosen? What's the criteria?
Please hold.
You have to be called.
And how do you know
Except
if
So
one
it's-
is called?
actually.
Yes, so when a sage discovers that a child has the potential to carry on their legacy, they would take them under their wing as an apprentice. And that sage would impart their knowledge and expertise, and then once deemed worthy, that apprentice would become a full-fledged sage.
And they
So now
embody
does
the
that-
gods.
Yes, they embody the
Is
gods.
this like a, when one sage rises, the other one dies off? Or, like, are there a finite number of sages?
There's just a lot
No.
of them everywhere. Just a lot of people who are doing good, but we're calling them sages. And they can do
Then-
some magic here and there.
Naka holds up the bottle that Yorfir gave him. And I turn to Ember and I say, how much of this have you had?
She's only a child.
I don't think she's had any, Naka. She won't be having any tonight.
Where does Diecats play then? If he didn't invent
So
a coitus.
So before Dicax, so the night that your flying piece of metal crashed into our land.
Excuse me, did you call it a fine piece of metal? Is that what you said?
Flying,
Oh,
I heard fine.
not fine.
Remember, I
Not
think it was
fine.
falling piece of metal.
Falling. Crashed into our land. We were. I'm gonna say the wrong word because we said like 17 different words for this. The conjuring, the whatever. It's not the
The
conjuring.
Conjuring. It's the
But that's
Conjuring.
what it is in my. Thank you. The conjunction. So before Dicax, so the ancestors and the mortals, we could communicate with one another. When a Dicaxian died, they went into the spiritual realm and did the will of the gods. And long story short, there eventually led to a war between the mortals and the ancestors. And the four gods were completely heartbroken and distressed by this, and in an effort to restore eventually this communion between the ancestors and the mortals, they sent a comet. And in that comet was Dicax. And Dicax taught us, well, essentially with the comet, they separated the spiritual and the mortal realm. And Dicax taught us how to live in harmony with the ancestors and live in harmony with the gods. And his promise was that one day he would return in a comet during the conjuncture and would reunite the spiritual and the mortal realm again.
So Diecats was an ancestor, then got crashed into here.
He wasn't an ancestor, right? He was someone.
Yeah,
Was-
he's just a messenger
prophet.
of the gods.
Yes.
He's a prophet.
Messenger.
effectively.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a prophet.
He's a pro.
And he came in on a comet. How long ago was this?
1,046 years ago.
So 11,261.
Yes.
11,261.
so wait, this guy rides in on a comet, you call him a god. We come in riding on a comet, and you call us crazy.
So
Listen,
It's kind of a double standard here, and I'm not sure I'm here for it.
11,261 is the year that we colonized the Omnesian system.
Same with us.
I think another small thing that's worth adding to the Dicax story is that the Dicaxians believe that the impact from the asteroid he was riding on
Yes.
was what created the Maw. And that in addition to separating the mortal and immaterial planes, it also killed a bunch of people. It was an apocalypse, effectively. It was a punishment for the war.
do you say that out
It's
loud?
like
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, well, you're wrong.
About what?
Dicax didn't make them all.
What do you believe created them all?
Our war with Eternus. When we killed Eternus, there was a fierce battle waged with Eternus and the Elysians, and through that fierce battle, we carved the Maw. We slaughtered him in the pit. It was a beautiful thing.
your fear. Can you remind me what AD stands for in your
Sure.
belief system?
Eternus's death.
Well, at least the year lines up.
It does seem that Vidar and Ember share some interesting things together.
Ignatius, you said that your people the name sounded a lot like Alkuli, like Alora.
Yes, I am from the Alsham Union. Yes. So let's see.
What are your people? What are they known for, Ignatius?
We're kind of like we do a lot of things. We're kind of like the economy of the system. So, you know, we have our fingers in military tech, we have our fingers in energy production, in resource gathering, in, like food and synthesis of new, matter, and like that we kind of do it all, and the people at the top make a lot of money off of it.
My father would call you people a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Or is it jack of all trades and master of taking advantage of people? Very much, I say we. I have been taken advantage of in this system. It's very much like if you are at the top, you are profiting off of everything that everyone below you is doing.
Have you ever tried to kill the people at the top?
Oh my god. You and your violence, your fear.
It is the haves and the have-nots.
The blade solves a lot of things, Alora. You're young, you don't understand. You will, though.
Where I'm from, if you act out, you get sent to the mines and are never heard from again.
What do you do in the mines?
Are the mines like the Maw?
Probably not. It's not like a place that people go to disappear. It's you essentially get put into slavery. You are mining resources for the Union to then take and turn into other things.
That's a pretty corrupt system you got there, my guy.
Oh, it sure is. And my sister would talk your head off about how horrible it was.
I'm sorry, she can't.
Me too. I don't know if there's any similar connection to, in the sense that the Dijon Collective and Dicaxia have similarly named things, but our kind of big companies are named Titan, Genesis, Horizon, and Atlantis. Any of those names ring a bell?
What do you mean by companies? Like a regiment?
There's a... No. They're like a group of people...
You would know what a company is. That is definitely a thing.
Those names don't ring any bells for me. I don't think.
Are there companies? Is there LLCs inside of Elysium? I didn't
There are
get that
definitely
note in
companies.
the lore, okay?
There are companies. That's a thing.
S corps
well,
filed
you-
every year? No.
They might be called like businesses or something, but like
Okay.
the concept
Alright.
exists.
All right.
Okay, so I've just named these four big companies. Those big companies are kind of in charge of a handful of smaller companies each. Maybe some of those names might ring a bell. Under Titan, there's Cronus, Hyperion, and Prometheus, which all sound very much like names that would fit into this wacky world that you have.
Cronus. How do I know that? Didn't we just hear a name Cronus?
I don't think so.
No.
Under Genesis, there's Biobytes, Organics, and EcoWorks, which
none of
all
those.
sound less like names that you might know. In Horizon, we have Orbital, Frontier, and Starlight.
No.
Seeing a lot of non-response. And in Atlantis, there's Voyage, Beacon, and Waveform, which also sound like things that would not exist in this world.
Okay, those names don't sound familiar, but this does kind of sound like how our politics work, our archons. So our archons get their power from the gods. They're no longer around. The gods are no longer around, but our archons have their power
Did you
and their
also
rule.
kill them?
No, we did not. We have 18 of them. So we have the Emperor and the Empress, who are the Sun Archon and the Moon Archon. And then under them we have the High Enclave, which should be 4, but there's only 3 of them because the one is Amnesia, who's the cursed god, and he's technically not a god anymore. So we have those 4.
Isn't that
and
the
then
name
under
of this planet?
it is, yes. Amnesia, he was the god of earth and life.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's
But he's cursed?
Yes.
sounds like you named your planet wrong.
well, the curse found you guys here, so I guess it is cursed.
So anyway, under the High Enclave, there's 3 in each sector. Here, can I, oh, question. I have Minor Illusion. Can I, like, I know it's not technically how to use it,
To share
but can
the
I show them?
Pantheon? Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Cool.
I'm proud enough of this graphic that you can share it whenever you want. This took
He
too
spent
It
a
is
long.
long
very
time on it.
impressive. Yes, it's very impressive. Okay, here we go. So
Oh wow.
there is 12 low in the low enclave, 4 in the high enclave, and then we have the Sun and Moon Archon who are at the very top. So is there someone at the very top for you, Iggy? Like above these companies that you speak of?
No, however, this is split very much like our politics. Even so, all of our companies are essentially, each one of them has their fingers in the politics. In the same way, like it's almost broken up exactly how you've just displayed it here. Although the sun and light and the moon and dark, we don't have like 2 people that are, or groups, I guess, that are kind of in charge of everything. But there are 2 other parties that are, in addition to the 16, that essentially have a hand in our politics, and trying to find where they're mentioned.
The Ulster Union Regulatory Board.
There it is. Governing body comprised of representatives from all of the major corporations and their subsidiaries. Very much how you just laid it out. And the board's members consist of 16 representatives, each from one of the major corporations, plus 2 union directors. The union directors are elected by a popular vote, and are not tied to any of the corporations. So it looks like the sun is in charge of, 8 other things within your civilization, and the moon is in charge of the other 8. That is very much not how it is on our side of the cloud. Those 2 separate entities have to cut ties with all of it. but they do also represent, all of the people as opposed to representing each of the corporations.
Okay.
It is worth adding, in case the graphic that was sent adds any confusion, that the moon goddess is not necessarily immediately over everything on the bottom half, and the sun god isn't immediately over everything on the top half. Those are related to the affinities of those gods, and they have more or less power during the day or the night, and have more or less power during each month, or each season, or not.
Interesting.
Do the colors mean anything on that graphic?
The whether it is light or dark is the affinity of the god. Whether it is more powerful during the day or during the night. The position on the graph more has to do with the seasonal affinity.
Though it does also include the, high enclave, low enclave distinction.
Yeah. The low enclave definitely is hierarchy. Like, the god of fire and war definitely has a position of authority over lightning and vigor, forge and justice, and feast and revel.
Which, hey, that's my dad right there. Archon of
That
Fire
is.
and War.
Yes, it is.
Dear old dad.
Is Grant frozen for
How did you
anyone
get
else?
to be a?
Oh, no, you were just sitting still.
Sorry.
If your dad's an Archon, how did you wind up here, Laura?
Because I wanted to.
Good enough.
Interesting.
You wanted to do this?
Yes. I
Why?
am locked up in a temple all day long. I get to do nothing. I get to see nothing unless I sneak out. I wanted to see the world. Oh, you shut your mouth, your fear, you old man.
Your fear, why did you decide to do this?
For country and honor, like the rest of us.
Totally don't believe you.
Not at all.
I suppose we're not outside the realm of insight and deception or persuasion checks if we wanted to
We
try
are playing
one.
D&D.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I didn't think we'd be
Yeah, I
bringing
don't
out the
believe
dice
that for
today.
a second.
So, I guess, yeah, deception or persuasion, depending on which one you're actually doing.
Grab my-
Versus
Don't tell us which.
insight.
Yeah, let me pull up my sheet real quick here.
How many dice are you rolling, whoever that was?
I like that.
It's just one. It's just
I
one.
swear, I need to burn these dice. I just rolled another crit fail.
Oh no.
Which dice are they?
Just the ones that I've been using for years.
Grant,
I have two
or-
sets of like black sparkly ones,
Send him the link to
and
this
I need to burn these.
Miranda's gonna send you the link to the weighted dice
It's
that she bought me.
Not weighted. It's
I
not
think
weighted.
Rolled a 1 time with this D20. I got a 4
I'm,
that
I'm
time.
pretty
so never
confident.
mind.
I'm pretty confident. Wait, is that a 4 after your modifier?
What was the roll?
Either persuasion or deception.
Don't
Do
tell
not
us
tell
which.
us. It-
Okay,
It's
go
not pick whichever one's better. It's pick whichever one you're doing right now.
It doesn't matter. Persuasion is fine. They're the same modifier. So 7.
Did anybody beat a 7?
Mine's
I rolled a
mine's a
10.
6.
What am I rolling? Help.
I didn't attempt.
An insight check.
Oh,
An
we'll just
insight
roll
check.
until we get a high
I
enough
don't know what
number.
I'm doing.
I rolled a 10, so I already got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get nothing. Nothing.
Your fear, is there a chance you might not be telling the entire truth?
Yeah, 100%.
I knew it.
All right.
Warden, Team 33, love it.
Team 33? Really? Really?
That wasn't in story, but we'll
Gosh, you're
edit it,
so
that's fine.
old.
The music stopped,
not-
by the way. So, Alora, you
Not
now
that
have an
old.
idea that he's lying. If you would like to press him on that.
Or at least obscuring some of the truth.
Sure.
Right.
I'm not going to bother with it right now.
All right.
You have this information. You
I
can
have it.
Tuck it away.
I'm busting out a new set of dice.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, it's actually
Color
new. It's like
appropriate.
unopened. Dang.
Yes.
So, Alora, do you want to talk a little bit about where you're from then?
Sure. So I'm from Al-Kuli, the Al-Kuli Empire. We have a lot of desert. We got some jungles. We got an island. We are a pretty big hub for trade. We have the crossroads where there's a lot of people traveling from Dicaxia and Elysium to come sell their goods there. I guess I can talk about like our history, like our old history. In the beginning was the sun and the moon, and for a while they just kind of were, and then they manifested like avatars and had amnesia, and amnesia was responsible for populating the planet. Which I had a question, because I didn't actually see if our planet was created or if it just was. Like, it didn't really specify in my history.
Amnesia, the god, is also Amnesia, the planet, in the way
Okay.
that the sun god and moon god are also the sun and moon.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so he forged everything out of Omnite with his artifact, which is Lifebringer. He has a chisel. And then after he populated the planet with plants, animals, he needed to create humanity. And he fell in love with the first woman that he made. And they had a few children. The sun found out and cursed him, because it wasn't allowed for a god to be with a human like that. And he was stripped of his godly title, and his chisel was taken away. And all of the descendants of Amnesia are now referred to as lowborns. So in our empire, there's the highborns, who come from the sun and the moon, and there's the lowborns, who come from Amnesia. And the lowborns are treated as slaves, basically, and the highborn live in royalty and become the archons, which carry on the power and the rule of the gods.
I'm sensing a lot of similarities between the social structures of our two groups of people. Although ours are not god-based.
Okay,
Ours are entirely money-based.
interesting. So more money, more power.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess if we're sharing governmental systems, while you guys are serving gods and serving money,
And computers.
that too. Well, I guess Elysium's a little different. I've obviously said, we killed our god. So there's that. Don't really like gods. Don't really think we need them. We've made it this far without one. In Elysium, we believe everyone has a right to have a say on how society is structured. I guess give their voice. We have an election that we hold where Elysians can cast their voice and their vote on who they want to be the High Lord or High Lady of the land. And that person will serve for a set amount of time. 5 years is their term. And they kind of go about the business of instilling laws, seeing the voice of what the Elysians want, pushing Elysian forward and growth as a society. And there's a child. That's a child. A voice is calling to us. Yeah, so, we vote on this lord or lady every 5 years, and they bring, it's a little hot spot, if you will, in the society, but it's fine. We've made do with it. A council with them. They're not elected, but the lords can bring in some unappointed people, and they kind of help the lord gather the voices of the Elysians to see how they want things run in the country. And then once their term is done with, at the end of the 5 years, we execute them. Kill the lord or the lady, and that's their form of public service. So, yeah, everyone knows going into it, after 5 years, you've done your duty for Elysium, and we kill you. And it stops corruption, you know. People don't stay in power for too long, corrupted, and we get new blood in there, new thoughts. Yeah, that's Elysium for you. Every person has the voice. There's not a lot of, as Ignatius was saying, like in Allura, the highborns and lowborns. We're a system that tries to work together for one another. We're home, as Allura said, the Borealis Academy, which is a place where all the bookworms go and learn their stuff and their magic, and they, do all the fancy sparkler tricks.
Sounds awfully similar to...
I was wondering which one of you would pipe up and say you're related to me.
Oh, we knew that, though, because of the beginning.
I could...
Lunaris Novus Terrace.
Listen. So, you want to explain it further now?
Do you have anybody that bucks the system?
Oh. There's a few outsiders. What are we talking about, though? Are we talking about the people who want to overthrow the system, or just don't think the system's right?
Don't think the system's right.
Yeah, we got a couple. I don't know if they mean too much harm.
Can I insight check? Are we looking at one?
Sure, go ahead. Insight check it.
Oh gosh. Maybe it's my dice tray. I have rolled this new D20
Maybe.
at least 10 times now. Haven't gotten anything above a 5.
Get that dice tray out of there.
Wow.
I'm buying Grant a weighted dice actually. Re-roll it. Just re-roll it. Let's see.
Yeah, get to re-roll it.
19.
Okay.
Hey, you broke it in.
Alright, so...
I guess it just
do I
took
need to-
11 rolls.
Do I need to try to beat a 19 for persuasion?
Well, it's a 24
Persuasion or
insight.
deception, depending on
Again,
Which
don't
one
tell
you're
us
actually
which.
Assuming.
Just tell us the result.
What was yours?
24.
That was close. I got 22.
Wow.
So you're wondering if you're looking at someone who bucks the system? I'm not actively serving in the system. We could say that.
Did you serve in the system? Your 5 years?
He'd be dead.
Oh, I'd be dead. There would
Maybe
be
he
no
escaped.
One, no one has escaped.
Okay.
That.
That's what
No,
someone
I've
who
never.
who had escaped would say.
Because we too have a 5-year mandatory service.
No, no one from my knowledge has ever even attempted to escape the.
We don't kill ours, though. We reward them.
With what?
Plot of land. To live the rest of their lives.
Yeah, no, we kill them. That sounds way too nice for Elysium. We live in basically a frozen tundra, so we're pretty cold in a lot of ways, more than just physically. Did I buck this? I was never a part of the political system. Well, not by way of playing any roles in it of major. Like, I was never appointed or anything. I may have meddled in things a few times, but whatever. Jack of all trades, master of none, as my dad would say.
That's the second time you've mentioned, as my dad would say. Is your dad... I don't want to ask too many questions, but...
Is my dad what?
I don't know. Was your dad important to you? You bring him up often.
I think I brought him up twice.
Twice in an hour? That's more than I talked about my dad in the past year.
I don't know. Is it okay for you guys to talk about your dad, where you're from? You're part
Yeah.
metal, so do you have a dad? How
Uh,
I believe so. Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I believe so.
That's an interesting question. I think a father's important to anyone, whether they're good or bad, or if you don't know them or not. So,
Not a
your
dragon.
what was that? Vidar?
Dad's not a dragon.
My dad is a dragon? No, he's definitely not. Nor is he gold.
Did he get killed after 5 years of service?
No.
He wouldn't be caught dead serving.
No,
So
my
I
dad,
just-
he might have been serving, maybe. Who knows?
I just want to clarify something real quick. The 5-year service that ends in death, that is specifically the lord
Just
or
the
lady,
Yeah.
which is essentially the ruler of the country.
Yeah. The council, I'll back up. So just the lord or lady will get murdered. The council actually can sometimes, when the new lord or lady steps in, some of them may stay, or the lord or lady will exile them. That's the wrong term. Remove them from their seat and bring new people in. That's why some Elysians don't really believe the council it's a little shaky ground on if we really like the council that much, because they're not elected, and are they really the people's voice? And no, I was never a councilman, nor do I want to be a councilman. People that Naka, you mentioned people who might buck the system. Does the name Remnant mean anything in your world?
Remnant?
Remnant.
Not ringing any bells, no.
Okay. Well, that's fine, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be like one of, I guess, the system buckers. Buckers, I want to clarify. Buckers.
B with a B.
B with a B. With a B. YouTube.
He could be the other one, too.
Maybe. We do have, like, as Alora has said, we got a little cult as well in Elysium.
Okay. Yeah.
Called the
What do you
Remnant.
call them?
The Remnant.
Remnant.
Yeah, the Remnant. The Remnant. They go around. They're kind of like adventurers. Pirates could be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Some could say.
Do they
go
sail
around.
ships?
They do have some ships.
Of course they do.
Yeah, they have ships. And if I remember right, they have a hideout in the water, in a little cove. And they go around. They try to collect. I'll pull up my map so I can remember the name. But they go around and they try to collect all these. They call them holy text. And things that Eternus had left behind. They believe that Eternus is going to return one day.
Ignore what I just sent, Trevor. I thought it was going to direct you directly to a spot in the article.
Oh, gotcha. No, you're good. Yeah, so they believe Eternus is going to return one day. So when he comes back, he's going to be all pissed and he's going to kill all of us and have revenge. It's going to be awesome. And they're going to be there ushering him in, being like, look, we've been devoted to you this whole time. They believe, that Elysium has desecrated all of the buildings that were made for Eternus, turned them into governmental buildings. So I think her name is Elowyn. I've never met her, never seen her before. But yeah, they go around, they just try to find artifacts and holy text to them about Eternus returning.
Have there been any major battles that have led you and your people in one direction or another?
I mean, we killed our god, so that was a pretty big direction shift for us. Yeah. We've had a few wars, some good, some bad, some within, some without.
Any because of the political structure.
The betrayal of this is a while ago. It's kind of forgetting me, but Cassianus, I think is the name. I think.
That is correct. If you're asking us,
well, I'm trying because I'm trying really hard not to say Cassianus, but Cassianus.
I guess we should pass every name by Trevor just to see what we can make out of it before we set it down.
Wait, you know what? Now that I bring that up, Cassianus. It's not stuck there. God darn it. What is it? Cassianus, right? Cassianus. Not anus. Cassianus. True 33.
I feel like your fear would absolutely say Cassianus.
Yes, totally.
That's fine.
Totally.
That's fine.
That's fine. Cassianus, it's coming back to me now. He was a part of the Purist group, if I remember. So that's a group that bucks the system. Does a Purist ring any bell to you?
Can't say a purist does, but we have anarchists and things we call leeches.
Interesting. Do they want to destroy the rest of your system and get rid of like computers and stuff that you call?
I wouldn't say that.
So our purists, they have like their soul set on returning all of Amnesia to a world where there are no gods. They want to take away all of the lesser gods birthed by Eternus. They want to basically return this to a paradise that's removed from any god structure. And yeah. So
Thought you only had one god, and you killed it.
well, Eternus birthed all the other gods.
Are they the
this
gods
is
that
getting a
Alora was
little-
talking about? Or that
That's the question
Ember
for
was
another
talking
day,
about?
Ignatius. Let me pull out my history book real quick. It's a journal that I keep with me.
The Elysians do believe that Eternus created the other pantheons.
That's right. So Eternus, we believed. I just wanted to verify my memory. Eternus, we believe that Eternus was like the one powerful god and created all of these other people's gods and their lesser gods. So when we killed Eternus, we killed the one powerful thing. And we don't really understand why these people are still following the lesser gods. I mean, to me, it's like, whatever, you guys do what you want, I guess. But I think we're all seeing and talking to each other and seeing that maybe some of these systems are a little weird. Slavery and mines and stuff sounds a little odd.
I mean, I don't think it's a good system.
I'm waiting for. I'm like looking at
But
Alora, waiting to see if she says anything about the Alkuli Empire.
What do you mean? How do
Like
I feel
higher-
about the system?
Yeah, like hires and lowers.
I think it's very unfair how the lowborn are treated.
Interesting. Go on.
What more is there to say? I don't think it's fair. I think it's especially unfair that they're forced to worship all the gods when they're cast out from society. The very gods that cast them out, they still need to worship. That makes no sense to me.
Maybe this is your mission. To see the world, go back to Alkuli Empire, lead a revolt with the
Kill all the
lowers
gods.
and kill all the gods.
That would be interesting considering who my father is. But crazier things have happened, I suppose.
All fathers are good, whether
So-
they're bad or they're.
You
So,
said your father is the fire and war guy. Is he a god?
I would say he's revered as a god, yes. He's not an actual god, but he has the power of the gods. And he rules as a god would, I suppose.
Have you ever seen him bleed?
I don't believe so.
No.
Iggy, Vidar,
Yeah.
you know of the Great Galactic War, right?
Know of it.
Know of it?
Not much.
Well, your fear. I guess in the future for you. Or possibly something we don't understand yet. It's a great galactic war that happened for 53 years, actually. And it was all because of a way to dismantle. Well, one of the things that happened was a 100% tax rate. Do you know what a tax is? Do you guys have taxes here? You have to pay?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, taxes are a thing.
All right. Well, we had to pay 100% tax rate on profits exceeding 10 million credits. How's that sound? Does that sound great?
100%?
100%.
Yeah, definitely should kill those gods.
Yeah.
That wasn't your fear. That was.
Does any of this link or anything to you?
No,
No.
I wouldn't say anything. I mean, the only time we've really had infighting would be the betrayal of, Cass. That's what I'll call him now. Captain Cass.
Captain Gas.
Well, he was a general. He was the highest general in our army. And he was a purist. And this is like 600 AD, I think, 630, somewhere in there. And he went against the Lord's guidelines at the time and marched on the Alkuli to purge them from the land because of their god structure. And he defied the Lord and just kept going and going. And luckily, the Elysians, the civilians, led an uprising and stopped him. We attacked him from the rear before he could enter in the Akuli Empire, and we defeated him. And our, some would say, democratic spirit of Elysium shined the brightest that day, besides the day we killed our god.
Oh, the Universal Coalition, which is where I'm from, the faction I am part of, used to be the top of the top. But after this galactic war, we fell hard. And it was all thanks to a man named President Ethan Callahan.
Doesn't ring a name.
No?
No. What made this Callahan start this taxation?
Oh, I mean, we wanted to dismantle the Union.
Why did you want to dismantle it?
He wanted to dismantle it, I guess.
He wanted to dismantle it. What caused him? What drove him to dismantle if you were the highest, the peak of civilization, why did he want to dismantle? Seems odd.
Well, kind of like you were talking about unchecked power. People having too much power. He did it as a way to protect the citizens.
When you said dismantle the Union, are you talking about the Alsham Union?
Yes.
That
Though
was
if
not
I-
his only very unpopular policy.
And also, if I recall, at the time it was not called the Alsham Union. It was just
Yeah, it
the
was
Union.
just the Union
The
at
Union.
the time.
Well, that's
What was
interesting.
his name?
Ethan Callahan.
Callahan.
Why don't I know about the guy who was trying to take down the Union?
Because they're just
Did
the
he-
big bad Universal Coalition. Who cares about him?
Did this
enough.
Callahan come to this revelation under his own guise? Or were there outside influences?
I mean, I believe it was himself. He had this mantra for the people.
Might be worth mentioning his other large unpopular with a particular group of people policy.
Which was switching all the spaceships from Omnite to electricity.
It's halfway through the first paragraph of the Great Galactic War.
I mean, to be fair, I don't. I have to be honest with you guys. I haven't really been truthful with you guys.
Okay.
I don't know much about the current comings and goings of Elysium. I haven't lived in Vita Nova in quite some time. I rarely make it into town except for supplies. So, if you're really asking me, I don't know a ton of things going on currently. I know just loosely some things, but I'm not really a ear to the ground type of guy. Keep my head down.
Ethan Callahan himself was trying to get rid of law as we know it. And he was more focused on ideals, what could be followed, rather than a legal structure.
Okay, I'm realizing the wording in the article is unclear. So, I'm going to clarify some stuff here.
Interject. Yes, please.
Yeah, we have some editing to do.
Spake.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, we have some editing to do, but so okay, so first I'll just read what the paragraph says. Similarly, the collective faced a dismantling of its self-governance, with Callahan outlawing what he deemed to be redundant, unconstitutional governmental bodies, asserting that only ideals could be followed without legal authority. So what we meant by that is that Callahan thought that so essentially the collective was setting up their own governmental bodies, and
Not the coalition. The Dijon collective.
collective.
collective,
It was not the
correct.
Dijon collective at the time, but yes.
Right.
Just the collective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they so they were setting up their own governmental bodies and making laws and whatever, and so Callahan outlawed any other redundant governmental bodies, and essentially said you can follow ideals, but you can't make your own laws.
And the coalition and the union were super happy about that and didn't do anything about any of the changes. It
Nope.
went super well.
And that's why it's in the Great Galactic War section.
Oh, you mean collective and union didn't like it?
Sure. Yes,
Okay.
the collective and the union.
Yes, we recognize
Spider,
how
that must have
confusing
been where
made
we
these
split
names.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything,
Okay.
right now, Elysium, the people in power are all about unity and having the people bind together. And if anything, values are everything. Our High General has a motto that's an Elysian's shield guards not only its bearer but the very soul of the land, and I think that speaks for the Lord as well. They're very much into making Elysium the pinnacle and having its people hold community inside of high esteem. Where at one point maybe we were a little adventurous with our military, forcing our boundaries out further, or trying to. I think now it's a lot keeping our boundaries strong and focusing on the work within. But I don't know, like I said, I don't really hang out inside of Vita Nova that much.
John just messaged me. Sorry, Naka's intelligence is a -1.
And you were the captain.
It's worth mentioning,
to
though,
Kobayashi
Trevor,
Maru.
that although perhaps the majority of people believe that Elysians should generally stick to themselves, there are a handful of people that you've mentioned before.
Sure, the purists.
The purists.
Yeah. They wanna go. They wanna
exert control and kick out the gods of the other.
I think there's is Darian, is he a purist, or does it not? Is he not a purist? Does it not say? He just dissents against the Lord, correct, DMs?
I'm just pulling up his bio.
No, he's not a purist. It doesn't say. He just believes that Callus is... I don't want to say it out loud just yet. Something... He doesn't like where something is corrupting him, essentially.
I would say you don't know for sure whether he is a purist. However, there is the line as an ardent advocate for a leadership free from divine interference.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't know if I would bring that up.
Which
I
is...
don't know.
It's effectively a little dog whistly. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking from the character of your fear. Like, I don't know if he would...
He would even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or care. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even going to bring up Darian.
I'm seeing a similarity between the purists that you've mentioned and the victorious. Is that a similarity that I'm making up, God?
I won't answer that.
I don't think we can answer it, that kind of question.
I was just surprised to hear you mention the victorious right now. Are we getting into that section of the articles?
I mean, they're like an offshoot of the coalition that is effectively a relic of a bygone era, that are off doing their own thing, causing trouble for everybody.
This is for any Celestials, the bottom of your general article under external threats.
There are a bunch of
Terrestrials has a similar section.
Yeah, I believe it. There are a bunch of self-replicating machines that are just about, they kind of stay out of your way until they think that you're in their way, and then they like take you out, kind of deal.
I'll once again hologram and show a picture of them.
I love that you can do this.
They're pretty cool.
Oh.
Very bad.
Yeah, the Union has had a handful of fights with them, and we've come out on top, fortunately. But there's some
Those are big.
big bad. I mean, this isn't why, but the one of the planets in our system, if you refer back to the Omnesian system map, Viridian, is just a collection of chunks of a planet. Not directly because of the Victorious, but following a war that we had with the Victorious.
I mean, I think the only large threat like that of that size here would be Ember Allura, would be dragons, and I guess the shadows.
We are getting to that part of the articles. Cool. Why don't you pick one of those and we'll start there.
I'm gonna be honest, the things that you're showing us don't look like dragons. Allura, can you show them what a dragon looks like?
Do they not know what dragons look like?
I don't know. Do they know what dragons look like?
Yeah, dragons are just parts of fairy tales. What are you talking about? They're dinosaurs with extra steps.
They're quite real.
And minor illusion.
Doo-doo.
Just what I suspected.
It's worth noting, and all of the terrestrials would know this, and Allura, you might have a couple different minor illusions to show, even though we only have that one image. That not all dragons look quite like that. Some dragons are very long, spindly types, and some are more two-legged things with almost like a wyvern type of deal. Dragons come in many different shapes and sizes.
From a meta perspective, they look like dragons from every culture on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess, the only way that we could show them what a shadow looks like, Allura, could you maybe show them what we encountered in the cave?
Is that picture in our article appropriate to send? Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
These do kind of remind me of your, what did you call them? Victorious?
Taurus.
The shape, at least. I don't know. They're also kind of shapeshifters, so they don't always look the same.
And they can, I guess, probe your mind, and they try to lure you with things that you desire into the deals, basically, and then they consume your soul.
I don't think, if there is a parallel here, I don't think it's to the Victorious, but we've been specifically barred from speaking of this other.
I don't know if well.
You are barred from speaking
I feel
about
like we
the
just had
events
lore
surrounding
the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, but the I don't think there's anything wrong with discussing specifically the contents of the article.
Yes.
We no longer have anything to unearth. We've discovered it.
Why not? Vidar, are there
that's
any?
for sure.
Vidar, are there any other threats in the external, celestial space that might be interesting to discuss on the way to the fort?
Yeah, the Xeon DV5 was infected with elders once,
Screw
also
you.
known as
No.
mind flayers.
I knew it. I knew it. That's where he's going.
No.
But that's the one I'm most familiar with as part
Okay,
of
fair
the
enough,
Dejun
fair
Collective.
Fair enough. Go ahead. Talk about and why don't you hologram up a photo of him as well?
Sorry, snipping tool. I can't read and do that at the same time. Essentially they're a hive-minded alien, and they manipulate your thoughts and control your mind. Not fun creatures to encounter. Don't recommend.
Do they prey on certain people or just anybody that they find?
Anybody with a brain.
Anyone with a brain? Yeah.
I believe they do
They like brains.
enjoy the taste of them as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's about it. No other threat.
Is Trevor on his way back?
Yes, yeah, he's coming.
Okay. Then maybe Naka wants to tell us a little bit about the third external threat. Vidar can whip up a little
Hey, can you whip
hologram.
up an image for us?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just
Oh my gosh.
I want to preface a little bit as one of the gods saying that this might be one of the worst things that we've written into this universe. It's pretty bad. So
Yeah,
Naka,
after
what are
we
those?
wrote it, we questioned why we did, and did it anyway.
Oh my god.
Naka, what are those?
Shall I tell a story?
It's up to you.
It depends. Is it the story of how you got that necklace?
Could be how I got that necklace. That I don't have anymore. So, remember how I said my father was a pirate?
Yes.
Well, his ship, the Umbra Imago, was once infested with these arachnid-like creatures. That when they're little, they burrow themselves inside your body. And they love to make their way to your brain. And they make you want things. But you think that the only way to escape is to jump out into the nothingness. But when they get bigger, as you can see this image that Vidar has shown us, they get bigger, they can be quite beast as well. And my father was killed by one of these. And all I could do is watch as I fell into the vacuum of space. But that wasn't before I tried to cut the thing open with its own tooth. So, if I ever see one of these again, I will do everything I can to make sure that I can carry the entire body instead of just the tooth.
So, just to make it totally clear, they're tiny little spiders, itty bitty at first. They burrow their way into your body. They make their way up to your brain. They make you start hallucinating terrible, awful, scary things, and convince you that the only way that you can be free of those and escape them is to jump into the vacuum of space. After they get you nice and dead, they latch your body onto the side of whatever vessel you were in, use your corpse to plant all of its eggs in, and then make its way back into the ship where they just start slaughtering people and eating them.
It's a really happy
These
story.
spiders.
Do you know you're infected? Like when a tiny one gets in your brain? Like, or is it tiny enough that you don't know what's happening?
They also cause memory lapses. So probably not.
Okay.
What do you mean by fall into the vacuum of space? What the heck does that mean?
That's a great question.
On
Laura. I
the
was gonna
other
ask that
side of
myself.
the
this blue
big
glow.
blue cloud, you can't breathe, and it is very cold. And it's a surefire way to kill yourself if you really wanted to kill yourself, is to go out into that with any way to protect your fleshiness or breathe.
Okay.
They're not that bad.
So how do you kill
Oh.
him? Just stab him? That seemed to work.
Like, if you're already infected, or if they're outside the body.
Both.
Let's go both.
I mean, if they're outside the body, you could just shoot them. You know, whatever
Okay.
else you want to do.
What
If they're
happens when they're
inside,
inside?
nobody's found a way to do that yet.
At least without killing the host.
Correct.
It with fire.
Well,
I'm
shall we
sure this
move
will
on?
never become relevant.
Absolutely never. No.
Well, Naka, I am sorry you had to go through that.
For what it's worth, Iggy is not acknowledging that story, but he does internalize it.
It did forever change my life. And it's actually how I met Ro.
Was he part of your dad's crew?
No, he found me floating in the vacuum of space in an escape pod. He saved my life.
All right. I suppose. Are there any other topics that anyone would like to bring up? Maybe you could. You shared a lot of information. I know you haven't had time to digest any of this, but if there are any other connections you thought of, or any theories that are starting to form in your brain, now would be a time for that, or if there's any other information that you want to share.
And I want to know all these years so I can red string tinfoil hat.
Well,
but that's just me.
I suppose we could get you the years of the specific events mentioned.
Yeah. I actively do not want to look at any other articles.
Yeah.
I suppose I didn't mention that I'm from the Nexus.
and what's that?
How are you gonna explain this one,
Nexus.
Grant?
You can point. You can point to where it is.
Yeah, I can point straight to it. The big blue ball of flaming gas in the sky. We built a big ol' ring around it. And I live on that ring. It's effectively a civilization orders of magnitude larger than anything that you could ever imagine. All in a very skinny ring around the entire sun. Literally like 100 billion plus people on this one skinny ring. Am I getting this correct that we harvest the energy of the sun?
Yeah.
And that energy output is effectively what drives the value of our currency in the whole system.
Wait, so you
Sounds
pointed
pretty
to
important to
like the
you.
sun in the sky?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where you live.
I live there.
How is that even possible?
Told you we're gods.
I don't think you want to say that around your
No, I
face.
didn't know. Don't kill me. Like all the other ones.
Let's see. How? I mean, we don't live. Wow, this is really hard to describe in a way that makes sense. There's a ring around the sun, and we live on the outside of the ring, where it's like environmentally controlled. So we're not just cooking by the sun. Although if there are solar flares, then we do cook by the sun. But
It's a hazard. It's a work.
it's a thing. Do you guys have acid rain here? It's probably really similar to that.
No.
But okay, never mind. But all the rich people live at the middle of the ring, and all of the poor people live at the outside of the ring. The ring is like U-shaped, going all the way around the sun. So all the rich people live here, and all the poor people live here.
Okay.
And gravity goes out.
You're not going to have a gravity explanation conversation right now.
Nope.
But not everybody in the Wholesome Union lives on the Nexus.
That's true. We have pockets of people kind of spread throughout the entire system. So, like, our miners are on a different planet, which, if I remember correctly, is Symbiota?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So it's basically like an entire planet of just mines. So like when I say the people get sent to the mines, they get sent there and just mine resources. Those are like the even... Yeah, those are even more the Pories than the Pories that live here.
The Pories. Is that
call
now
It's not a good
official
look.
slang?
It's not a good look. you awesome elite living on the next.
Hey man, my parents went to the mines, so they were never heard from again.
Did you say that in game or is that outside?
Well, I don't think Grant's parents were sent to the mines.
Iggy
I just
and
didn't know if
Iffy's
he was
parents
saying
were
that.
sent to the mines.
I didn't know if you were saying that in character.
Yeah. I don't... Everyone's sharing little tidbits about their parents. My parents... I think I wouldn't make a big deal of it. I would probably just say, yeah, my parents went to the mines.
Do they do anything to be sent there?
They did a lot of stuff to be sent there. I did a lot of stuff to be sent there.
Did they cover for
But I
you?
was... no. They... You probably... Well, I guess 3 of you didn't really meet Iffy, but the 2 of you that did could probably tell that she's a pretty rough and tumble, like, you know, down with the system kind of gal. And she very much got that from our parents. And our parents raised us on a life of crime, essentially, just to survive. And after they got taken to the mines, that was all we knew, and so we kept doing it. And I almost got sent to the mines, but fortunately I'm good at making bombs. And
this
so
issue
the
works
equivalent of Elora's dad roped me in to making bombs for them.
Strictly speaking, it would be the equivalent of one of the Archons under Elora's dad.
Well,
yes.
yeah. The lightning and vigor, I would guess. Probably.
How old were you and Iffy when your parents were sent to the mines?
Oh, this would have been 20-some years ago. We were kids.
You made it all that time, huh?
Taught well. We were good at what we did. If he never got sent to the mines, I also never got sent to the mines, although I should have. Good at what we do.
So, you're from a part of the Alsham Union that lives really close to the sun in a giant ringed city. And then there are other parts of the Alsham Union that are less fortunate, that spend all their time digging underground in caves for resources.
Digatana, digatana. Digatana, never get done.
Quick before they arouse.
I noticed
Yeah.
you guys only mentioned 2 spooky things.
Well, you know of the third one. It's the maw.
The maw.
But I thought you said the
Oh.
shadow was in the maw.
No, the shadow can be anywhere. We
Huh.
don't know where they come from, where they go. They just appear. You can see
Where
one
did you
in your
come
life.
from? Where did you go?
They
Can
may
you-
not. God,
Laura, can you show us this maw?
Sure.
Also, you guys fought these shadow things?
A small
We
one.
fought one.
A small one. You lived enough. You hear stories. There's bigger ones. Sometimes you don't even know that you've seen one until they have left.
I would imagine, to some extent, Alora, as you're sort of apparating this, what is effectively like a ridiculous, like many, many times the depth of the Grand Canyon, which is the maw, and the entirety of the inside and the walls and everything are just lined with omnite.
Yeah.
That
I was gonna
the
say,
select-
this just looks like a big omnite cave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is like a giant, like Mount Everest inside out, upside down sort of thing. The
And
Celestials,
we don't want to go there?
yeah, the Celestials probably are all salivating a little bit at the idea of this existing.
There's things that come out of the maw, spooky, creepy monster stuff, and that's
Like
why
the shadows?
Not exactly the shadows, other creatures, things that horrors which you cannot imagine or fathom.
Did you say? What did you say?
Horrors.
And we don't want to go
Prostitutes.
there?
Deep down, we don't really know what is inside. But that's why the wardens are here, is to protect the outlands from whatever resides and at random will appear, climbing out of the maw.
So we're going to be spending a good amount of time in or around the maw?
Yeah, so pack your bags with Omnite if you want, I guess. Just don't get caught.
By the way, you've probably passed several crystals of Omnite just poking out of the ground at this point.
Yeah.
Anyone that I see that's roughly the size that could fit in my hand and is glowing a lot, I'm picking up. Like the one from the beach.
You
How
Won't
much do
take
these
long for
weigh?
you to fill a bag.
I was gonna say, yeah. And the pirate
also,
would
what'd you say,
do
Caleb?
so as well.
It wouldn't take you very long to like encumber yourself. Like
Sure,
These
I'm
are-
going to get myself to the brink of encumbrance.
But you're gonna wanna, I'll tell this to you, you're gonna wanna have to like chisel this the right way, or else it's just gonna lose its power. So, I can show you, because I do it a lot.
Yes.
Chisel away.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll teach him how to do it the right way.
Do
Alright.
you have
Okay.
a chiseling kit?
I assume that's going to be an overtime deal.
Yes. That's not
Yeah.
an immediate
Yeah.
Do you
thing.
have a
Yeah.
chiseling kit on his
and-
hand?
Alora, this is certainly something that you'll be good at and be able to refine it. Effectively, the think about like uncut gems versus kept gems when it comes to like
Okay.
internal reflections and stuff, right? So the more internal reflections, the more an Omnite can hold on to its power for longer. There are experts, of which you are not, that
Right.
are
Yeah,
effectively
no.
able to make 100% efficient like stones of Omnite. But cutting it skillfully in any way will definitely make it hold on to the power better.
Is would that be like rare for them to see? Would be like a perfectly cut?
that is definitely uncommon and very expensive to find somebody who can do it perfect.
Is Finch?
Does
Finch fall into that category?
I was gonna say the beach crystal that you have, Iggy. Is that?
No.
No, that is a
okay.
raw check of
gotcha.
Omnite.
Okay, all right.
Finch is cut. He is not perfectly cut.
What would you say as they're talking
He
about
is a
this?
6-pack, not an 8-pack cut.
DMs, we've never discussed the cut. What is the cut of my sword, Yorva?
We will discuss that offline.
Son of a... Okay, because I don't know what happens if I... Never mind. I guess you were gonna tell me.
We will discuss it offline.
As you guys are talking about different cuts, I just take out my sword and I show you this is a cut, and you notice a sword that is cut with and laced pretty much all out of Omnite.
Does it do anything fancy?
It kills people very well.
Like on a scale of a 1d4, d8, or d10, how much damage does it do?
We'll discuss that offline, okay? We'll discuss that offline. 1d6 plus 3.
And guys, there's a twist. We're going right into episode 3. Here we go. Just kidding.
Yeah, Kayla's back in Michigan now. He's had a green screen the whole time to fool you.
I think I would look at Iggy after he's talked about like being good at what he's done or what he did, him and Iffy, and I would just add, I know the feeling of what it's like to be very good at what you do, and knowing it probably will mean nothing, but I open the left hand and take a glove off, and there is a scarred symbol on the palm of my hand.
What does it look like?
I will give you a picture. If I can find it buried in direct messages, I got. I'm hunting. Here it is, got it. No, I don't have it. Hang on. Sorry. My copy. It's not letting me paste it. Hang on.
You can screenshot it if that's easier.
Here we go. This image is burned and scarred into the palm of my left hand.
This image is also probably not recognized by any of the terrestrials either.
Okay.
And I just put my glove back over my hand.
What is that supposed to mean, old man?
Unlike you, I've seen many things.
Seen some DNA-looking wolfish snakes with the staff of Ra.
You know, I'm not an artist, guys, okay?
No, but Midjourney is.
I don't know if it says specifically in my article. Do any lowborns live in Dawncrest, or is that all highborns?
Yes, they do live there, working for Highborn.
Okay.
So they would live in the lower levels usually, and in service to Highborn.
Copy that. Dawncrest equals Nexus.
Yes, Dawncrest is our capital. It has a great wall around it, and it's where most of our Archons live, besides the fallen Archons, and where I live. So.
There's a ring around your capital, like we are the ring around the sun.
It is quite interesting, isn't it? We also have many outlying villages. Outside of the wall, people live in underground sanctuaries, and just other surrounding regions. So that's also kind of interesting.
Are there any other big hubs that people live in the Alkuli Empire?
I was just thinking, there's this place called the Cradle. That's where the fallen Archons and many of the descendants of Amnesia live.
What's it like there?
It's a giant city carved into like a massive cavern, basically.
Oh, kind of like Fort Black, huh?
You could say so. It's there's a lot of Omnite in there as well.
I wish there was a lot of Omnite at Fort Black.
Are the people that are there? You said there are a lot of lowborn people. I assume, being lowborn, they probably don't like the highborn structure and whatnot.
I think it would be safe to say that, yes.
Has there ever been any kind of I don't know, annihilation, attempted annihilation of the cradle?
Well, there was a lowborn rebellion. I'm looking. Is there anything that I'm missing? Oh, great, and powerful DMs?
No, the Lowborn
Okay.
Rebellion is the closest thing I can think of to
Yeah,
Agreed.
what Iggy is thinking of.
okay.
Was there any pushback from the highborn people after this rebellion happened?
I mean, the leader of the Lowborn Rebellion was captured and executed.
Sick.
That doesn't sound that good to me. But
No,
I'm
I
just
don't think
drawing
it
a parallel to so our what I'll call the equivalent of your cradle is the planet Viridian, which was that collection of pieces formerly known as Viridian that I mentioned earlier. There was also an uprising, rebellion, if you will, on Viridian, although it was met with a swift show of force and blown up by a massive bosonic charge.
Bosonic charge. What is that?
I'll pull out my little boy.
Yeah. Do you want to copy over the image of the bosonic charge and just so they can see what that looks like as well?
Why do you have that?
That's a good question. That's a very fair question.
I have been working on this little project for a very long time. Will this just work as I want it to? Copy. Paste. Sick. This is a much bigger version of what I have. So the picture that you see there is like taller than I am.
It's probably like
big,
10-foot diameter at least.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Big bum. And what I have in my hand is probably like a foot in diameter, maybe. And these things is actually the reason why we're here. Funny enough, they make black holes that don't last very long, but they make black holes nonetheless. And so the one in this picture is like 10 feet across. The one that was unleashed on Viridian was considerably larger than that, and more or less destroyed the entire planet. But this one can't destroy a planet. Well, it can't destroy anything right now, but it will be able to destroy a people.
To be clear, that was like a few people, not like an entire culture of people.
Okay, I was gonna ask for clarification.
It's a really, really, really nasty grenade. Think of it. Like
Yes.
And it's not working right now?
Well, as far as anybody knows, it is not possible to make a smaller version than this 10-foot one that you see the picture of. I am trying to make a smaller version of it.
And it's
I'm
with no success
very
yet.
close.
Okay, you're close.
I'm
What do
close.
you need? Do you know what you need to finish it?
A very small amount of omnite.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, I think you probably already have enough, yes?
Uh-huh.
What you gonna do with that, Iggy?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Kill some gods.
Let's just say you don't want to be anywhere near it when it goes off.
No.
Are you planning to use it while you're on our planet?
If the moment is right.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say I won't use it.
We're gonna have a fireball in a crowded room scenario coming up soon, but it's gonna be a black hole.
Yeah, if you were afraid of Yare's meteor storm, I would not want to be inside a black hole when that thing goes off.
So is this the reason why you're here, or is there another reason why you are all here?
Well, we were trying to collect one of the 10-foot boys.
Collect.
And yeah. And it was going great, and we had a tow cable on it and everything. We were ready to go. We're about to get away scot-free, and then it blew up and sucked us into the Omnite cloud. And here we are.
And what happens if you don't return?
Well, then I guess we'll die here. We don't get paid is probably the greatest consequence. Although we were going to be paid in a much, much smaller amount of Omnite than this, so...
I think the rest of us were getting credits. I think you specifically asked for some Omnite.
Potato, potato.
Perhaps, I don't know how, I know we have 15 minutes to midnight. We could say, more or less, that you guys are arriving at a fort and seeing a pillar of smoke in the distance, as you did at the beginning, or I guess the middle of the previous episode. And we could use the remaining 15 minutes to discuss, out of character, maybe some theories of what you have going on. Or maybe you don't want to do that at all, and explore that entirely in character during the games. But it's just an idea.
A game idea.
I would like to explore it in character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
me
so
too.
too. Yeah, in character.
Iggy's approach is very much Grant's approach. He's a scientist, so I'm trying to take hard facts and connect dots.
Yeah, I would be doing the same.
Nerds.
Okay. Well, I guess then, I guess then we will wrap up there, and see you next time in Amnesia.